It's strange, isn't it? The way we can become so entangled in the web of someone else's ego, their needs, their demands, that we forget who we are, what we want, what we need. It's like being caught in a storm, the winds howling, the rain pelting down, and you're just trying to find shelter, trying to survive, but all the while you're losing pieces of yourself. You start to think that maybe this is normal, that maybe everyone feels this way, that maybe you're just being dramatic. But deep down, you know something's off. You feel it in your bones, in the pit of your stomach, that gnawing sensation that tells you this isn't right. Breaking free from narcissistic patterns isn't just about cutting ties with a person. It's about unraveling the threads that have woven themselves into the fabric of your being. It's about recognizing that you've been living in someone else's shadow, that you've been dancing to a tune that isn't yours. It's a journey, a long and winding road that requires courage, self-reflection, and a willingness to confront the uncomfortable truths about yourself and your relationships. The first step, I think, is awareness. You have to see it for what it is. You have to acknowledge that you've been manipulated, that your feelings have been dismissed, that your needs have been sidelined. It's easy to get lost in the chaos, to convince yourself that you're the problem, that if you just tried harder, if you just loved more, if you just gave more, everything would be okay. But that's the trap, isn't it? The belief that you can fix someone else's brokenness by sacrificing your own. It's a seductive lie, one that keeps you tethered to a cycle of pain and disappointment. Once you've recognized the patterns, the next step is to reclaim your power. This is where it gets tricky because for so long, you've been conditioned to believe that your worth is tied to someone else's approval. You've been taught to prioritize their feelings, their needs, their desires above your own. But you have to start shifting that narrative. You have to remind yourself that you are worthy, that your feelings matter, that your needs are valid. It's a radical act of self-love, and it can feel terrifying. You might feel guilty for wanting to put yourself first, for wanting to say no, for wanting to set boundaries. But here's the thing. Boundaries are not walls, they're bridges. They allow you to connect with yourself and others in a healthier way. Setting boundaries means learning to say no without feeling like you're letting someone down. It means recognizing that you have the right to protect your energy, your time, your heart. It's about understanding that you don't owe anyone an explanation for your choices. You don't have to justify your feelings or your decisions. You are allowed to prioritize your well-being. It's a process, and it won't happen overnight. You'll stumble, you'll falter, you'll second-guess yourself. But with each step you take, you'll grow stronger, more resilient. As you begin to reclaim your power, you might find that the narcissistic person in your life reacts in ways that are unsettling. They might try to manipulate you, to guilt you, to pull you back into their orbit. They might play the victim, make you feel responsible for their emotions, for their happiness. It's a tactic, a way to regain control, and it's important to recognize it for what it is. You have to stand firm in your resolve, even when it feels uncomfortable. You have to remind yourself that you are not responsible for their happiness, that you are not their caretaker, that you are not their emotional punching bag. This is where self-compassion comes into play. You have to be gentle with yourself as you navigate this process. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-blame, to think that you should have seen the signs sooner, that you should have known better. But the truth is, you were doing the best you could with the tools you had at the time. You were trying to survive in a situation that was designed to keep you small, to keep you in line. So give yourself grace. Allow yourself to feel the pain, the anger, the confusion, but don't let it consume you. Use it as fuel to propel you forward, to drive you toward healing. Healing is not linear. It's messy and complicated and often feels like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. You might find yourself questioning your worth, your decisions, your ability to trust again. And that's okay. It's part of the process. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who see you for who you are, who encourage you to shine. Seek out those who have walked a similar path, who understand the nuances of breaking free from narcissistic patterns. Their stories can be a source of inspiration, a reminder that you are not alone in this journey. As you continue to heal, you'll start to notice shifts within yourself. You'll begin to rediscover your passions, your interests, your dreams. You'll find the courage to pursue what sets your soul on fire, to chase after the things that bring you joy. It's a beautiful awakening, a reawakening of the parts of yourself that were silenced for so long. You'll start to feel a sense of clarity, a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging to yourself. And in that belonging, you'll find strength. But remember, breaking free from narcissistic patterns doesn't mean you'll never encounter narcissistic behavior again. It's a skill, a muscle you have to strengthen over time. You'll have to learn to recognize the signs, to trust your instincts, to walk away when something feels off. It's about building a toolkit of strategies to protect yourself, to safeguard your heart, to maintain your boundaries. You'll learn to communicate assertively, to express your needs without fear, to stand up for yourself in ways that feel authentic and true. And as you navigate this new terrain, you'll also begin to cultivate a deeper understanding of empathy and compassion. You'll learn to recognize that narcissism often stems from deep-seated wounds, from a place of insecurity and fear. It doesn't excuse the behavior, but it can help you detach from the emotional turmoil. You'll learn to hold space for your own feelings while also acknowledging the humanity of others. It's a delicate balance, one that requires ongoing self-reflection and growth. Eventually, you'll reach a point where you can look back at your experiences without the weight of shame or regret. You'll see them as stepping stones on your journey, as lessons that have shaped you into the person you are today. You'll understand that breaking free from narcissistic patterns is not just about escaping toxicity. It's about reclaiming your narrative, rewriting your story, and stepping into your power. You'll emerge from the storm, not unscathed, but transformed. You'll carry the scars with you, but they'll serve as reminders of your resilience, your strength, your ability to rise above. And as you stand in your truth, you'll find that the world opens up in ways you never imagined. You'll attract healthier relationships, connections that nourish your soul, that honor your boundaries, that celebrate your individuality. You'll find joy in the little things, in the moments of stillness, in the laughter shared with friends, in the quiet satisfaction of pursuing your passions. You'll learn to love yourself fiercely, to embrace your flaws and imperfections, to celebrate your uniqueness. So if you find yourself caught in the web of narcissistic patterns, know that there's a way out. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. You have the power to break free, to reclaim your life, to rediscover who you are at your core. It's a journey of self-discovery, of healing, of growth. And as you embark on this path, remember that you are not alone. There is a community of survivors, of warriors, of souls who have walked this road before you. Lean on them, learn from them, and let their stories inspire you. You are worthy of love, of respect, of happiness. You are deserving of a life that feels authentic and true. So take that first step, however small it may be. Embrace the discomfort, lean into the uncertainty, and trust that on the other side lies a version of yourself that is waiting to be discovered. A version that is whole, that is free, that is unapologetically you.